Our heroes have finally done it. They sealed the wall, they plugged it with that giant ass boulder, and now they finally have their first win against the Titans. How's it going, guys? This is going to be my episode 13 review of Attack on Titan. There's a few things that I actually want to talk about before I delve into the episode, but I'm just like really satisfied with this episode. Just getting to see our heroes actually succeed and win is just a good like change of pace from watching all first 13 episodes up until now, because technically they've been losing up until this point, and I'm really happy that like now they're at the turning point. They've sealed off the wall, the Titans can no longer get in, and now they can actually deal with just the Titans that are contained within the area, and then they can just move forward from this win that they got against the Titans. But there is actually a couple things that I just want to mention before I delve into, you know, the what was the content of this episode. And first things off, yes, I did get a haircut, so if you guys noticed that, it does have a different look. Secondly, there was a recap at the beginning of this episode. Now, every episode has a recap at the beginning, but this one was like really long. And I actually just like watched to see how long it was. It was 3 minutes. 3 minutes of recap. I mean, I know it does recaps on every episode, but this was just excessive. I'm just like, come on, get to the episode already. 3 minutes is just too long, and I'm just glad that like right now, I know that after this episode comes the recap episode, and then episode 14, but I'm not going to be doing anything with that recap episode 13.5, but this had to be like the longest intro of recap that we've had within an episode, and I just had to point that out in this video. And the second thing is, there's like a few sections within this episode to where like the animation kind of falls off, or there's like still frames, and it was the section where Jean is escaping a Titan, and like there's like a weird pan shot of the outside. It shows all the buildings, but it shows him moving around. You can hear him, but you can't see him. That's the first thing I noticed. And then the second one was when he's basically trying to escape the Titans, and then one comes jumping out of nowhere, like kind of like upside down towards him, and you get like a still shot of the Titan's face and then a still shot of Annie coming in, but all you don't really see anything, you just hear it. And I was actually like wondering why that was, because I actually watched this dub the first time I watched it, and I remember this actually playing out a lot differently, but I watched the sub for these reviews, and I'm just like wondering, it's like, why are it's so wonky within this episode. So I did some like research as I was looking at it, and apparently the animation department just wasn't done with a few of the scenes, and so it was something like 80% of the whole episode was done. It's just like a few scenes were just like left before it went to air. So basically what they had to do, they had to cut corners and basically, you know, add in like still shots and stuff and pictures just to fill in the gaps. I mean, I understand that they're under like a time limit and have like budget constraints and stuff, but I know that they were able to actually fix it in the official like Blu-ray and DVD, and also for when the dub came out. But it was just something weird that I noticed throughout the episode, and there's like a few things here and there, but that's really all I really have to say about those two things. Those, just the long ass recap intro, and then just the wonky animation changes that they made within this episode from the sub, and then changing it over to the dub when, you know, they had the official like animation scenes actually put back in. So those were really cool. But now I'm going to delve right into this episode, because we actually start off right where Jean was left off, and like I said, like he ends up escaping the Titans. And the way he does this is, after the Titans kind of leave the area that he's in, he basically goes up to the fallen comrade that's on the ground with the 3D maneuver gear, and he goes to basically, you know, rip it off him and like put it on himself, because if he doesn't put that on, he's gonna die. And then Connie, Marco, and Annie see him on top of the wall, and they're like, oh, his 3D maneuver gear's not working, we have to go help him. So as he's putting that on, the Titans are actually swarming him once again, but here we have Marco, we have Connie actually come in and, you know, distract the Titans while he's able to try to escape. There's a few problems with the 3D maneuver gear, because like the triggers aren't working as properly as they should, so they're like stuck or fidgety, and so he's got to like work out the kinks to try to escape. And then like that scene I just mentioned with like the still frames is where Annie comes in and saves him as he's trying to escape this like huge ass Titan that's just jumped at him like horizontally, and it's like upside down. It's just like got its mouth open. So he escapes that with the help of Marco, Connie, and Annie, gets to the top of the wall, and no one dies, which was really good to see within this part. But then everyone's kind of like looking around, because it goes silent, and you hear like these like stomping noises, and all you just see out in the distance is Eren, you know, thanks to Armin getting his ass into gear. He's actually lifted up the boulder, and now he's making his way towards the hole in the wall so that we can plug it up, and then that way no more Titans can get in. So then it's at this moment that everyone, you know, gets back to the original plan of guarding Eren, and to basically make sure no Titans come near him, that way he can actually plug up the wall. And so everyone is basically laying down their lives within this part. You have Mikasa and Armin at like right next to Eren's Titan form guarding him, but you have everyone else like on the ground with their 3D maneuver gear going after all these Titans. And there's people, a lot of people died to protect Eren and to actually protect humanity and get this hole plugged. And it just goes to show that yes, they were able to complete the mission, and Eren was able to actually, you know, plug up the hole with the giant ass boulder, but a lot of people died in order to do that. So it's kind of a bittersweet moment to where yes, this is a victory, but then you also have to remember all the lives that like were lost and the people that laid down their life, so that way the existence of humanity can move forward from this first victory that everyone gets. And it's a really, really good moment, you know, with Eren, you know, internal monologuing as he's like plugging up the wall when he's telling to fight, to continue fighting. It's just a really good moment, and it's very satisfying as a viewer to watch Eren put that boulder right in front of the gigantic hole, and then watch every one of the characters realize it's like, holy shit, we just won. Like, we pushed back the Titans, which has never been done before in the history of Attack on Titan. So now with the boulder blocking the path, none of the Titans can get in, but none of them can get out. And so a lot of the people are scrambling to get on top of the walls and to escape the Titans, so that way they can actually, you know, begin the elimination of all the Titans within Trost District. So Armin goes for Eren, goes to get him out of that Titan, and Mikasa's on guard duty, and they end up getting him out. They have to slice off a piece of the Titan in order to get him out of it, but then they fall to the ground. These two Titans are like basically waiting for them to drop, and then we have Levi show up. And it's so nice to see Levi show up, because earlier in an episode we actually got to see just a glimpse of him in the Survey Corps, but now we actually get a little bit more of him, and he just turns up, destroys these Titans, and then just looks back, is like, hey guys, what the hell is going on? Because right now he has no idea what the hell has happened, or they don't even know the fact that Eren can possibly turn into a Titan. But like later on in this episode, they do find out from interrogating him. But right now he's just turning up to the situation. He's just doing what he does best, which is killing Titans. So then we have a montage of them basically destroying all the Titans within the district. You know, we get to see the aftermath of the battle. And this is actually a pretty sad moment too, because Marco, who's been an integral character, or at least side character, moving forward since the boot camp days, it turns out he died just off screen, and he just randomly died, and Jean came across his body. He's bitten in half, and the mystery right now is we just don't know how he died, because the last moments we saw him, he was alive, and then during that montage, something might have happened. We don't know what happened, but he ends up dying, and then like Jean is just in shock right now, and the woman that's like counting up the bodies saying like, do you know who he is? Do you know his name? Because it would help out a lot. And so he gives the name, and they end up moving on, but it's a mystery right now to see how the hell did Marco die? That's like the main mystery within this episode. But then we get to see like more aftermath of just how, and we also learn too that the Titans don't have like digestive organs. They just eat people for fun in a sense, and they just basically barf them up in like these like kind of like cough balls, kind of like how cats do with like hairballs and stuff. But it's just a giant sack of humans that just has to get cut open, and they're like, we can't identify these people. It just shows that like these Titans, how disgusting they are. So the last part of the episode is Eren waking up in a dungeon, basically surrounded by the military police, because right now they have him in custody. But then like on the other side of the bars, we actually get to see Captain Erwin and Levi, you know, part of the Survey Corps, and they're there to basically talk about Eren, because right now they know that he can turn into a Titan. And Erwin actually has the basement key that Eren had around his neck, and he's asking them questions like, are the answers to how to defeat these Titans, does your basement have, you know, the answers, and does this key get us in there? And Eren is just basically giving them straightforward answers like, I don't know, but most likely yes. Like, he doesn't know exactly what's in the basement, but from what he can gather from what his father was trying to tell him, he knows that the answer to all of their problems is within that basement. And Erwin is basically telling them all, it's like, in order to get back over there, we have to actually retake the land that was lost to the Titans from the outermost wall. And then once we do that, we can actually get into Shiganshia, get into your basement, and actually figure out what the hell we're supposed to do moving forward against these Titans. And I love the part where Erwin and Levi are just standing there, and they ask him like, what do you want to do? And Eren, like, he just like has flashbacks of everything that has happened, and how he just despises these Titans, and he gives that rape face. I love the face he gives, but I love the answer too, because he goes to them, he just with that rape face and goes, I want to join the Survey Corps, and I want to demolish all of the Titans. All of them. And Levi gets great interest from this. Like, he perks up, is like, oh, I like that answer a lot. So then we actually have Levi moving forward and talking to Eren, saying like, you tell the military police that this guy's under my responsibility, and I'm the only one that can take him out if he were to, you know, go rogue in a sense. And Levi, as we've been able to see, is very skilled at killing Titans. So to see that Eren right now is actually under the protective care and custody and responsibility of Levi is going to be very interesting moving forward. And they accept his invitation, and they're like, like, congratulations, Eren, you're a part of the Survey Corps now. And I love how this episode ends. It's a good, like, kind of like send off of this first arc. It ends on such a good note and a satisfying note at that, just to see our heroes and all of our characters actually succeed in driving back the Titans, because they have not been able to do that since the beginning of the series, and for the beginning of history, at least within the Attack on Titan world. So it's very nice to see that, and it's very satisfying as a viewer just to see heroes overcome such a difficult obstacle. So I really enjoyed this episode. I believe that this is actually the first half of the whole series, and we're getting into the second half right now. I'm gonna be missing the opening because I know in the next episode we're gonna be getting that new opening. I like both openings of the show, but the first one is just very special, and it just gets you hyped as you're just watching the episodes. I know I haven't mentioned like the opening song within these reviews since like the first episode, but I just love, you know, sitting through that opening and waiting for the episode to start, because it just gets me so hyped for what's to come within this anime series. So that's my review of episode 13. We're at the halfway mark now, and I really can't wait to delve into the second half. The second half has got some amazing shit to go down, and I really can't wait to review that stuff. So I actually want to hear from you guys right now. Give me your thoughts about this episode and actually how this arc concluded overall. What were your thoughts when watching this? What do you think about like the stuff I mentioned earlier about how long the recaps are at the beginning of each episode, but also, you know, with the animation budget, like the problems that they had within this episode in particular? Did you notice those when you guys watched this, or do you guys not really take notice of it and it didn't really, you know, hinder you from your experience of watching the show? And also leave your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear your thoughts on the openings 1 and 2. I know I'm going to talk about it more in my next episode review on the second opening, but I definitely want to hear your thoughts too on both openings, because I like them both. I know some people are, you know, a lot of people seem to lean towards the first one, but I think both are good. But just leave your thoughts in the comments below. And if you guys are finding me for the first time, I'm doing reviews on all of season 1 of Attack on Titan leading up to season 2, which we're getting really soon, April 1st. I really can't wait till that actually drops, and just the content that's going to be coming towards us. I am really looking forward to that. So if you guys are fans of Attack on Titan, just subscribe to my channel and just leave your thoughts in all of the comments, and I'll try to get back to you guys as quickly as I can. Anyway guys, that's it for this review. My review of episode 14 will be out shortly on my channel, so until that video drops, I will talk with you guys then. Alright guys, see you later.